Hold on. Before you watch the rest of the video, I have a new site on Tippy where you can see lots of unseen videos and more. Link in the description. Don't miss out. Join the team and enjoy the video.
Jackie said, my name is Megan Schmidt. I am a member of the Community Outreach and Engagement Team at Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center. As a National Cancer Institute designated cancer center, Holden is responsible for understanding and addressing the burden of cancer throughout Iowa. This includes ensuring that Iowans have access to and awareness of cancer clinical trials. So in the spring of 2023, Holden convened a group of oncologists and administrators, navigators, nurses, and coordinators from several different organizations across the state to discuss how they could collaboratively assess and address barriers to cancer clinical trial enrollment and opening more clinical trials across Iowa. So today, several representatives of the group are here to speak more about the importance of clinical trials, barriers that both patients and providers face with clinical trial enrollment, and to share some ways that they're working together. I am pleased to introduce our three panelists: Shannon Benson, Director of Clinical Trials at Mission Cancer and Blood; Mimi McKay, Assistant Director of Clinical Research Coordination at University of Iowa Healthcare Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center; and Lori Pedig, Director of Cancer Services at St. Anthony Regional Cancer Center. Shannon, could you start and tell us a little bit about the different types of cancer clinical trials that exist?
Yeah, I think the obvious answer is treatment or intervention. So we're always looking at most effective treatment options for patients. But there's a lot more that people don't know about. So there are large-scale prevention studies that are done. There are trials that look at ways to diagnose cancers or better ways to diagnose. Trials that look at ways of screening cancers. There are also, this is kind of one of my favorite types of clinical trials that are done, are the, they have different names, so quality of life or symptom management trials. And those aren't always as attractive as, say, an interventional trial, but if you have a side effect and we can't give you your full chemo because of a side effect, well, that side effect is then, not letting you have the most effective treatment. If we're having to halt your chemo, dose reduce your chemo. So these set of trials are looking at controlling those symptoms so that people can get the full dose. Dr. Deming and I actually probably 15 years ago enrolled, I think, 150 patients on a breast dermatitis trial for women getting radiation. And, we were trying to make sure they could get through all 6 weeks of their radiation without having to stop that because of dermatitis. So there's also different phases of trials. So there are early phase 1 trials, phase 2 trials done more in the academic setting. And then your later phase trials are done more in the community setting. But those are also, so there's different types and then there's different phases of trials.
Thank you, Shannon. Mimi, building off of what Shannon explained about trials, can you explain why trials are important?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, how about now? No, it's green. How about now? All right. Clinical trials are important in advancing cancer care. And, as Shannon said, whether it's a screening trial, a prevention trial, a treatment trial, we're looking to do better tomorrow than we're doing today. And in order to evaluate the interventions that are being studied in all of these trials, we need patients to enroll on the trials. And one of the biggest reasons that trials close early is failure to accrue. And we know that far more patients say they're willing to participate in a trial than actually do participate. And, that can be because they don't know some of the basics, like Shannon just told us, or that they're not aware of what's available to them. And we're trying to help patients in the state of Iowa be aware of what's available so that they can make an informed decision and advocate for themselves.
Thank you, Mimi. Shannon, can you talk a bit about barriers that both patients and providers face in cancer clinical trials?
Yeah, so this really just piggybacks off what Mimi said. So I think number one is lack of awareness.